I want to be in old New Hampshire. I want to go. Happy anniversary, New Hampshire. I'm Ruth Craig. I'm the editor of the New Hampshire Genealogical Record, and I'm here to talk to you about the last issue of 2023, fall 2023, volume 35, number 3. And if you read the first short note in this edition of the New Hampshire Genealogical Record, you will learn about many anniversaries this year in New Hampshire, one of them being that 400 years ago, the first Europeans came and stayed around over the winter. So happy anniversary. I don't actually have liquid in this because I'm in a library. Anyway, we have some really great articles in this thematic issue about anniversaries. There are all articles from centered around the coast, that is Portsmouth, Dover, that area of New Hampshire where the settlers first came. They landed in Rye. And the articles are all about that area. They aren't necessarily about the 400 years ago, but they're from a long time ago. And so the first article, and they're all by experienced authors that have published many articles, very great genealogy. All of them, at least the first 3, have proofs, genealogical proofs, very carefully constructed to demonstrate identity or parentage. The first one is by Sean Furness, and it's entitled On the Parentage of Margaret Gardner Furness, who married in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in 1764. And the parentage of Margaret Furness, she is the 3rd great-grandmother of the author, and he has published extensively on his ancestors. But the question that's been out there until now has been the parentage of this 3rd great-grandmother, Margaret Gardner, who married Furness, and how you can read about it. It's an incredibly beautiful article. How he figured out the parentage. He traced the Gardners from their earliest appearance in Portsmouth and traced all of them. And from her death date, you can figure her approximate birth year. And by looking at the children and grandchildren of these original Gardners, you can try to figure out when they were born, like from their death records or other records. And then when you look at all the pieces together, you see that there's one particular family where there is a space exactly where her birth year is estimated to be. And looking at all the other families, there's no other possibilities that we can find. And so this is a very, very beautiful article on parentage. The second article is by Priscilla Eaton. It's called John Greenleaf Whittier's How the Women Went from Dover, 1662, the Genealogy of a Poem. It is a very, absolutely brilliant and very original article. I didn't realize this, but Quakers were severely persecuted in early New England, and there were Quaker whippings in Dover. These 3 Quaker women, there was a poem written a century later about them. And what Priscilla has been able to do is to actually trace 2 of the 3 women who are in the poem, and it is incredible. And this is all the works in this library, the Berry Library in Hanover, New Hampshire. I'm in the sort of like the sub-basement. These are all books about Quakers. They actually start over here. These are the works of George Fox, one of the, I think, the earliest Quakers, and this isn't all that we have. There's even other ones in the depository, like I ordered this one, New England Judged. She started her research with this. This one, it's a very early book. This is the second edition, published in 1703. So this is just an incredibly thorough and fantastically interesting piece of work. I know you'll like it. The third article is by Virginia Hanson. It's called George Boyd, the Richest Man in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And it is about a young man who started at the lowest level of apprentice. And he ended up with vast wealth, huge amounts of property and mansions. He had many, many children. They all inherited lots of property. He did not meet, he had loyalist tendencies, and he did not, you can read about it. He was extremely successful, focused on success, and was very successful, but unfortunately died in his mid-50s in a really pretty ironic situation. And some of his children died fairly tragically as well. But it's an amazing piece of work as well. And then the final article is an article by Robert Cameron Weir. It's a source review on some records that are now available from Stratford County. They're now available online. House of Corrections records, children who were taken in by the county, lots of records of people that you don't normally find records on, and now they're being scanned online, so you can find out how to get to those. Again, enjoy this issue. Happy fall, happy anniversary, New Hampshire, and good wishes to everyone for the upcoming issue.